A warm welcome to this session on perform cable laying in the field. At the end of this session, you will be able to perform laying cable in the field.
Tools and instruments or equipments required. Safety tools: helmet, safety shoes, hand gloves, insulated tools, safety belt, wooden ladder, safety spectacles, tool kit, mounting screws, bolts and nuts, washers, tools, drilling machine, marking pen and nail, measuring tape, conduit pipes, clamps and bends, etc. Suitable cables. DC or AC cables are types of cables used in installation. Cable structure will be bare copper, thinned as standards of IEC 60-228 Class 5. Double insulated cables. Cable sheet color: black, blue, red and green. These cables have properties like ozone resistance weather and UV resistance, flame resistance, resistance to acid and base. Nominal voltage for the cable 600 volts or 1000 volts for AC and 1800 volts for DC conductors. Perform laying cables in the field. Most solar panel systems include basic cables, but sometimes we have to purchase the cables independently. The solar cable, sometimes known as photovoltaic wire or photovoltaic cable, is the most important cable of any photovoltaic solar system. The solar panels generate electricity which has to be transferred elsewhere. This is where solar cables come in. The biggest distinction in terms of size is between solar cable 4 mm and solar cable 6 mm. To understand how solar cables function, we must get into the core functionality of the cable, the wire. Even though people assume cables and wires are the same things, these terms are completely different. Solar wires are single components known as conductors. Solar cables are group of wires or conductors that are assembled together. Perform laying cable in the field. An introduction to correct size and terminology. To start with, the most common size for solar wires is AWG or American wire gauge. If you have a low AWG, this means it covers a large cross-sectional area and hence has a lower voltage drops. The solar panel manufacturers supplies the chart that showcase connecting basic AC or DC circuits. They should give information on the maximum current allowed for the cross-sectional areas of the solar system. Wire gauge and amps rating. The size of solar panel cable used is important. The size of cable can affect the performance of the entire solar system. All electric wires functions in the same manner. If you have a photovoltaic cable that is not large enough to support the solar panel, photovoltaic cables are sized using American wire gauge in order to estimate the gauge scale. The standard wire gauge SWG series commonly used in Great Britain were given in BS 37371964. The standard is now withdrawn. The basis of the system is the mil or 0.001 inches. The lesser gauge number AWG of a wire, the lesser flowing from the solar panels will be arrived safely. Different PV cables have a different gauge size. Each gauge size has its own AMP rating, which is the maximum amount of AMPS that can travel through the cable safely. Cable laying or conduit pipe wiring. Precautions while connecting cables, color codes, etc. If from rooftop, the wires coming out from the AGB are to be extended down the floors, conduit pipe wiring is preferred. Lay the conduit pipe on the wall for the required distance. Draw the wires through conduit pipe using spring for entire length. Connect the end of wires to the solar photovoltaic input of solar inverter. DC disconnects are to be installed as per drawing. 250 WP solar panels are connected in parallel and develops the output voltage of 30 volts DC as sunlight fallen on them. This voltage is fed to the AGB through disconnector. The output of AGB given to the charge controller as input through disconnector. The output of charge controller voltage fed to the battery bank to charge the batteries. The battery voltage given as input of the inverter through disconnector. The inverter generates AC output of 230 volts AC 50 Hz by taking DC voltage from battery bank. Practice cable laying by visiting ongoing mega projects by having MOU with solar photovoltaic integrators in plant training. Cable laid from solar photovoltaic array field to central inverter room. Cable precautions. Always wear protective clothing when handling cables. Connect with same color wires, red to red, black to black. Keep the cable connectors on the top place. Proper rating of cables must be used. Lay the cables through the conduit. Note: never disconnect photovoltaic module connectors or other associated photovoltaic wirings when they are energized.
Recap. In this session, we have learnt how to perform laying cable in the field. Hope you have understood all the concepts in this session. See you in the next session with a new concept. Thank you.